I've been reading my Bible. I've been praying. I've even went to church and I fasted. Yet I still feel afraid. If those thoughts have gone across your mind, if you're currently dealing with those thoughts, make sure you stay tuned, and I'm going to share a few of my tips that I apply to help me overcome the spirit of fear. Stay tuned. So if you had those thoughts of fear, or if you're currently experiencing fear, I'm here to let you know that you're not alone. You are not alone. I think back over my life, and I reflect on how fearful I was. And I remember friends and family telling me, in 2 Timothy, that God did not give us the spirit of fear, but of love and power and a sound mind. Let me find that for you real quick so I can read it to you. Where is it? So 2 Timothy 1:7 reads, "For God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and a sound mind." And I'm reading from the King James Version. So when I would find myself fearful, I had people in my ear reminding me what the scripture said. I had friends and I had family members saying, "Wendy, if you're fearful, it's a sin. You know that if you do this, it's that. And you're not supposed to be afraid because you're a Christian, and you're not supposed to experience these emotions." And what happened is, when people responded to me that way, it made me feel like, oh my goodness, I'm not supposed to feel these things. Or I would go to someone and I would express my concern, or I would express my fear, and they would give me this specific scripture. God has not given you the spirit of fear, and you're not supposed to be afraid. And then I would always respond in my mind and say, okay, I know that this emotion isn't from God. I know that I'm not supposed to be afraid, but I'm afraid. So what do I do? And very few times I got answers as to what do I do. I know that I'm not supposed to feel it. I know that I'm supposed to be full of faith and no doubt, and I'm supposed to be this and I'm supposed to be that. But guess what? Right now I'm not feeling it. So what do I do? So with the help of God and other great leaders, I was able to come up with a list of a few of the things that I was able to do to overcome the spirit of fear taking root inside of me. Now, when it comes to fear, it doesn't mean that it will never come. It's when it comes, what do we do with it? And I'm going to share on my paper the few things that I did to help me stay grounded, and to help me to send fear back, and to help me to not allow fear to take root. So I'm going to read my notes because I want to make sure that I don't miss any of the information. One of the main things that I was able to focus on to help me not allow the fear that comes to take root was to realize that God is in control. That God is in fact in control. That everything that happens has to first receive the authorization from God. And if I'm currently going through this, then that means I can absolutely, positively handle it. And then I also like to go back and I like to reflect on all the things that I was able to handle that I didn't think I could handle. I measure my track record. So I encourage you to measure your track record. Think back of all the times where you didn't think you would make it, but you did. Think about all the times when you felt defeated, yet you found strength to get up and fight. And when you look at your track record that brought you all these years still standing, that gives you confidence that when you look at the odds, the chances of making it are much higher than the chances of not making it. Because again, what we focus on will in fact expand. It's also important to connect with other people. Right now especially, everybody knows what you're feeling. Whereas we would have a conversation about a hardship, we would have a conversation about a specific situation, and not everybody understood. But everybody on the face of this earth is dealing with some sort of concern, some sort of preparation, some sort of emotion that we've never experienced before. So let's stay connected. Even today, I picked up my phone and I called several people to stay connected. I'm actually more of a texter than a talker. And I said, you know what, now, out of all times, it's so important to stay connected. And with that human connection, we're interwoven and we're able to borrow strength from other people. So that means when I'm having a bad day, I can pick up the phone, I can reach out, I can cast my line and reach out to somebody that can help me stand. And then when the tables are turned, when I'm having a good day and I'm feeling really, really strong, they can then reach out to me and I'll give it back to them. So in times of trouble, in times of adversity, we're definitely stronger together. So let's not allow ourselves to retreat and be alone and allow us to have these woe is me parties. If you need to talk about something, express how you're feeling. If you want to know that you're not alone, you can leave a comment here below, because you are not alone. The village is with you. Or you can reach out to someone you trust, a friend, a family member. Most important, the Most High. You can have a conversation about what you are experiencing. But out of all times in our life, we want to make sure that we're staying connected to other people. Also, we want to acknowledge our emotions. I can't tell you how much of my life I masked my emotions because I was taught that as a believer, I'm not supposed to have these emotions. So it's so important that as believers, that we create a platform where we can express what we're feeling and get the support that we need. If we see a fly on our counter, we want to kill that fly. The only way for us to kill that fly is to acknowledge that it's there and then utilize the tools and resources to kill the fly. If we pretend that we're not feeling these emotions, where do they go? How do we get rid of them? Because they just sit and they just fester. So it's so important that if we're feeling something, if we need support, that we reach out for help, and that we as individuals, we create that safe place for people to also share their true heart. We create that safe place by being our authentic self, by saying, you know what, I was going through something, but I was able to get through it because of this. I sensed a little bit of fear because I watched the news, or I keep seeing these cases spiking, and it made me feel a little uneasy, but this is what I was able to do. So things come, emotions come. The most important thing is, what do we do with them? We also want to focus on everything that is going right. We want to focus on that. We don't want to get stuck in our doom and gloom. We don't want to get stuck on what it appears to be. We want to count our blessings even through adversities, even through trials, even through heartaches, even through pains. What is working? What do you have? What do you have to be grateful for? What did you accomplish in the last 48 hours, in the last 72 hours, in the last month? What did you accomplish? Because what we focus on will in fact expand. And when we have an attitude of gratitude, it creates a bigger space for us to be grateful for even more things. And the last one, and it kind of ties into the one that I just said, reading my paper. Let's just focus on our blessings. How blessed we are in spite of. You know what? I don't love wearing the mask on my face. And wearing the mask has caused me to have breakouts like never before. But you know what? I'm glad I'm still able to go out. I'm glad I'm still able to connect with people, although it might be different. I'm glad I have technology. I'm glad that I have people around me that love me. I'm glad that I have the strength to persevere. I'm glad I can be a voice to encourage other people. I'm glad to know that when I'm going through something, there is someone out there that really cares. There's so many things that we can be glad about. Let's focus on those. So, in closing, let's remember that if we have emotions, let's put them out there so we as a team, as a collective body, can work together to eliminate that emotion. So thank you so much for tuning in to the Wendy Inspire channel. It was awesome hanging out with you. If you find value in this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and share, and leave some comments. Tell me how you're doing. Share with the village how you're able to overcome fear. And also, if you have not already done so, make sure you check out my book, No Longer a Prisoner, which can be purchased. The electronic version can be purchased on Amazon, and the hard copy can be purchased on my website, which is www.someonecaresaboutme.com. This story is my story about my life, of all the different challenges and heartaches and trials, and how I was able to overcome them. How I was once a sad, unhappy, depressed little girl, and now I am a strong woman. All praise be to God. I am Wendy Inspire because I have a story that is meant to inspire others, and so do you. Also, this is my first book, I'm Happy Being Me, which is a multicultural children's self-esteem book that teaches our children to love themselves exactly the way God created them. This is for grade 3 and under. Vivid colors, rhyming words, easy to read, very, very high quality book. Bright, happy colors. This is actually me when I was a little girl. Just inspiration of children being happy just the way they are. And also, if you need some life coaching, make sure you check me out because I am a certified life coach. I'm very, very passionate about offering my techniques to help other people be their best possible version of themselves. I'm dedicated and I'm committed to helping you tap into the greatness that you already have. So my job as a certified life coach is to help you tap into what's already there. Sometimes we need a little bit of cheerleading, sometimes we need a little bit of encouragement, or sometimes we need somebody to kind of help us uncover those wonderful gifts that we have inside of us. So if you're interested in my life coaching services, make sure you check me out on my website, which is again www.someonecaresaboutme.com. You can click the contact button at the top and contact me, and we can discuss details. Our life coaching services are for women and children, so I look forward to seeing you, and I look forward to being in support as God leads me to do so. All right, guys, that is it for our weekend video. Thank you for tuning in, villagers, and remember, we got it. We got it. We have what it takes. We have the strength to persevere. This is not the end. Things are going to turn around. We are going to continue to be strengthened, and there are so many things that we can be smiling about. So again, make sure we focus on the things that make us glad. Make sure we focus on the attitude of gratitude, and let's check our track record and remember how far we've come. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Bye.